Let me tell you, it is an illusion. It's happening in your head. It is not reality, and it sure isn't the creator in you that is having those thoughts. Hey Inspired Tribe, how's it going? It's Sean here and Christine here. It's so great that you're here with us today because we're going to talk about goodbye fear and hello freedom. And that is so important because we know and we realize that for so many people out there, fear and stress and anxiety are huge topics that might seem like mountains that you can't overcome. But we want you to feel that at the end of this video, you're not just going to have strategies to deal with it, but more than that, you're going to have tools to actually transform those fears and say goodbye for good, because that and only that is the intention. We're going to give you 3 strategies today. 2 of them are going to be something that you can use immediately and that's going to have an immediate effect, which is very important. And then the other one is going to be something that's going to cause a transformation if you decide that that's what you're going to do. First, let me tell you how my experience was with fear and anxiety and stress and almost attacks sometimes. Once you take those steps, you will realize that fear is an illusion. Fear is an illusion. And someone once said, well, if you look at nature and if you look at the animals, when an animal attacks another animal or hunts down another animal, then people say, well, look at that, look at the deer. It's running out of fear. But the deer is not running out of fear. The deer is running for the love of life. And that's a whole different concept. The deer is running for the love of life. But let me tell you how it was for me when fear creeped up and stress and anxiety creeped up on me. Was usually, and I don't know if it's the same for you, is usually during the night when it gets quiet, when it got dark, when I would wake up in the middle of the night and I would have these thoughts racing through my mind that I felt like I couldn't stop. And those, the worries would start with something simple, like maybe it was money that I was worried about, or the lack or shortage of money. How am I going to pay this bill, or how am I going to do that? And then it kept spiraling out of control. It always starts with something that is seemingly logical and maybe connected, and then it spirals out of control and it becomes this snowball that rolls down a hill, and it feels big and it feels almost, it's almost impossible to deal with it. But let me tell you, it is an illusion. It's happening in your head. It is not reality, and it sure isn't the creator in you that is having those thoughts. But nonetheless, we're unfolding, we're human beings unfolding. And so this is happening for almost everyone on the planet. It's nothing to be ashamed of. It's nothing to hide or nothing to, try to suppress. It's just something that once you realize it, once you become aware of it, then what are you going to do with it? It's time to let go of it. And we want to give you 3 effective ways and methods that we have used, because that's what we're always going to do, something that we have used and that has helped us. So we're going to start with number 3, and that's something that you can do immediately when it happens. It's the middle of the night and you wake up and this starts happening to you. You're having a panic attack or fear. And even if it's not in the middle of the night, but usually that's when it happens. Get up. Turn on the light. Change the scenery. The longer you lay there or sit there in the darkness or in the place that you're at, the more it's just like a train that's going to get faster and faster and faster. Get up. Turn on the light. Change the scenery. Walk into another room. If you can, walk outside. Take a few breaths of fresh air. Once you have that change of scenery, once you start moving, things will already start to shift because your attention goes elsewhere. And then remind yourself, these are just thoughts, and thoughts can be changed. You can change the thought, just like you can change the program on your TV, like you can change a channel on the radio. You can change those thoughts. And once you've changed the scenery, it's easier to do. If it helps you, turn on the radio, listen to something that uplifts you. Turn on the TV, watch something that will uplift you. Now this is just an initial distraction to help shift from that train to a new train of thoughts. And once you feel that you have gained a little more balance, ask yourself, what feels more pleasant? What's a thought that feels more pleasant? Don't go super complicated. Maybe the thought of a hot cup of tea is pleasant. Maybe the thought of the conversation with your grandma is pleasant. Maybe thinking or petting your dog is pleasant. Don't limit yourself. This is something that you can do right away. I promise you, laying in bed for another hour and letting that snowball become bigger and bigger and bigger is not going to help at all. So that's one strategy that you can use right away. Another strategy number 2, and that is something that we believe helps because a ritual is involved. As humans, we love rituals. Rituals mark a crossroads. They mark a decision point. They mark a shift point. Because whenever we fall back, we remember that ritual. We have already dealt with it, and a ritual helps with it. And one of the rituals that we love to do, and we still do it at times, we take 2 sheets of paper, 2 pieces of paper. And because those fears at that moment in time are so active within you, because that vibration is so active, put pen to paper and write them down. Literally, if it's money that you're worried about, then write down, I am afraid I won't have enough money, or I don't have enough money. I am scared that I'm going to be homeless, or I'm afraid that I'm going to be alone, or I'm afraid of being alone, I'm afraid of being unloved. It doesn't matter. Write it down. Usually it's just 3 or 4 or 5 thoughts. Write them down. And then on the other piece of paper, write the positive, the ideal situation. Be in the present and be unconditional, which means if money is your worry thought, then on the positive piece of paper you write down, I am prosperous and abundant. I always have more than enough money. I am loved and I love freely. I have wonderful relationships in my life. Not I have a wonderful relationship with such and such. Just leave it open and unconditional. So on that one piece of paper, there are your fears that you're currently experiencing. On the other piece of paper, that's the ideal situation that you're intending to manifest. Then take the first piece of paper, fold it, go outside if you can, and in a loving little ritual, burn it. Or give it over to Source, to the universe, to God. Turn it over. If burning helps, that's fine. If burying it helps, do that. Whatever it takes, turn it over. I give my fears to the universe. And then take the other piece of paper and read those affirmations a few times. Fold it, carry it with you, put it in your wallet, put it in your purse, have it with you at all times, and pull it out every time that you feel a fear coming up. Pull it out, read it. Write them multiple times. Focus on this. And remember, when those fears keep coming up, I have already turned them over. I made a ritual, I turned them over. Those are things that you can do right away to deal with a situation that has fear and anxiety in it. But we need something to transform. We need something to transform our feelings, to transform our vibration. And the number one method, the number one practice for millennia has been and always will be the direct connection with Source / God / infinite intelligence. And that comes through silence, through meditation, through going within. It is the easiest thing you can do, and your daily practice of deep meditation or deep prayer will transform not just your life, but will it transform your fears, and they will be gone. You are able to say goodbye to your fears for good, because the only reason why those fears are there in the first place is because you are disconnected. And when you are disconnected, then you rely on the world, on other people, on your ego, on your reasoning mind, and all of that, all of those, the people, the mind, the human ego, it doesn't have the answers that you're seeking from within. The answers that you're seeking from within come from your higher self, come from God, come from Source. And that is the biggest part of you that craves to be heard, to be seen, and to be lived. And that part is lived in silence. It is lived in deep meditation. Is when you turn within, when you allow for God, for Source to come out of you, through you and out of you, is that you will experience a deep feeling of trust. And no matter what the circumstances are in your life, you will feel that feeling of trust, and you will know how to access it even when there's a moment when you're out of balance. You can access it through prayer, through meditation. When you go within, when you shut off the senses, when you allow to connect deeply with God, with the universe, because that is your divine nature. And when you are divinely connected with Source energy, with God, fear has no place anymore, because fear does not exist in the divine mind. The number one method, the number one thing, the most important practice of all is meditation. It is meditation. That is the divine medication. That's meditation. And we will talk more about it in our upcoming videos. We will show you more practices. We will show you easy steps to begin, or steps to go even deeper if you're already a meditator. We have done it. We have gone through the processes. We are doing it every day. We're meditating every day, and we encourage you to do the same. The results and the transformation that you will experience are indescribable, beautiful, wonderful, amazing. Thank you for being here with us. Thanks for watching, and as always, if you are inspired, chances are someone else will be inspired too. So please, hit the like, the subscribe, and the share button. Send it to someone, pay it forward. We are inspired, you're inspired, and we hope you're having an inspired rest of your day. We love you.